There's Michael White, driving Expat. I think you're the first one here. Good afternoon. I guess Mayong Mudto here, Dumaguete. Happy Wednesday. Like number one also, yeah. Happy hump day, Wednesday. I think more rain's coming. I hate to say it, but I'm not sure what time, but I looked at the radar and there's definitely something on its way. Like I said, a lot of rain lately. Lots and lots of rain. Mixed in with some nice weather. Yesterday was really nice. Monday was really nice. Weather was great. But, you know, I haven't done a live stream in, I don't know, I think since Saturday. And I sometimes just get, I don't know, you just get tired of it. Like, I don't know, you want to do something different. But yeah, it is unusual. If I remember last February, Michael White, I don't remember this much rain. But as is anywhere, the weather goes in cycles, changes. But yeah, basically waters are rough here. Not like super rough, but definitely windy. Can tell something's brewing. But that's not going to stop me from walking. You know me, laced up, kind of got my water shoes on. Well, I wouldn't call them my water shoes. It's the ones I put on when I anticipate rain coming. I get tired of always being on live too, not gaining many stubs, still around 14. You know what, Michael? I don't even worry about stuff like that. What's meant to be is meant to be. You do what you want to do when you feel like you're in the mood. That's kind of what I do. Remember, it's your channel. You do what you want. And definitely you got to feel into it to do it. I know I feel a lot better when I take days off. I like going back to my walking when it's just me, myself, and I walking, listening to music or something like that. But I'm back today. I'm back. You feel kind of better. And Monday, me, Che, my friend Kevin, and his girlfriend, they invited us, so we kind of went to Twin Lakes, and then we went to Forest Camp, like Valencia, Sibilon. So we had a fun day on Monday. So obviously skipped the live stream on my planned scheduled Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but you know, but I'm back out today. What do we got here? I enjoyed the video from y'all's trip. Looked like it was fun. Yes, hello, Possum. Yeah, it was fun. It was. And again, if anybody's new to my channel, my name's Michael. Living here abroad in Dumaguete, Philippines, from the United States, specifically Pennsylvania, all my life, with the exception of 2 years. I did live in Florida, which I prefer Florida over anywhere. Well, over Pennsylvania for sure. And that would explain why I'm here in the tropics islands of the Philippines, because I prefer the heat. I like the hot air, the hot weather. So welcome, thank you for being here. Give me a like, give me a subscriber. We all become friends in here, which is really neat. But I don't know if it's gonna rain today. Maybe later, but there is something tracking in the radar. We'll have to wait and see. Euclid says go to site 20. I don't know, what is site 20? It near you, go left. Fox is here, says happy hump day. Driving, listening, brother. Thank you, Fox. Appreciate you, my friend. Blick says, what opinion on furries? I don't know about that. Jason, hey, Jason Ghost Hunter. Wow, it has been a while. How you doing, my friend? I'm gonna let you guys see what I see. You don't need to see my face. Try to read some of these. But welcome, Jason Ghost Hunter. I never forget your name. You're the only one I know that's an actual ghost hunter. Hope all is well with you. I'm doing good. A little cloudy today, in the 80s. But yeah, happy hump day. Happy Wednesday. Bees Poppin says, hello, my brother Michael. Hi, Bees Poppin. You know I always appreciate you popping in. Bees is always popping in. How are you doing today? Happy hump day on a Wednesday. Dumaguete, Philippines. C. Kelly says, hey, hello, how's it going? I'm doing good, C. Kelly. Dumaguete, Philippines, out for my daily walk. Haven't included a live stream in my walk since, I think, Saturday. So, yeah, I've took a little bit of a sabbatical, a hiatus. But I feel a little rejuvenated, energized, more into it. Live streams can be kind of, I don't know. You really have to be in a good mood. Not that I'm not in a good mood, but sometimes just walking, focusing on the chat as best as I can and bouncing back and forth can be a little challenging. But other than that, I'm doing great. Kai, NEX fan says, are you English? I'm from the United States, so yeah, I would say I speak English. Definitely from the US. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah. But welcome. Squid Boy says, what's up from Monterey, California? Welcome, Squid Boy. That's awesome. Welcome to Dumaguete, Philippines. It's 12:18 Wednesday afternoon in the Philippines. But I'm doing good, Squid Boy. Welcome here. Dr. Red Taco says, hello, Castaway Wanderer. Happy Fat Tuesday, and yeah, and happy Hump Day for me. That's right. You're Fat Tuesday, I'm Hump Day Wednesday. So I speak English. Eternal Sugar Cookie says, this is a heart. Thank you for being here. Cayenne says, me too. Gary the Snail's here. Hello, Michael. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing good. Rejuvenated for a Wednesday. As always, once in a while, you just take these random breaks from the live stream. But I did post a video of something that Che and I did some unplanned, unscheduled, kind of spontaneous exploring on Monday. You can check it out if you want, but it is in video formed if you're into it. But welcome, Gary the Snail. We got Kay Spitz, good catching up. Yeah, wow, it's like a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Jason says, been good, been working a lot here today. Have a new video out. That's good to know, Jason. I'm glad you're stopping by. I understand people get busy. It can be hard showing up for people's live streams. I know it's difficult for me. Like, I try to kind of sometimes isolate myself away from social media once in a while. You just need a break. At least I do. I enjoy YouTube and everything that comes with it. My own motto. I enjoy everything that comes with YouTube, but sometimes, in all honesty, you just want to just do your own thing without the social media aspect involved. Noel Leather Barrow says, Naughty from Queens Island. Gino's here, says, good afternoon, my brother from another. Yeah, I went down to the bottom of the live stream, the chat. I have to do that. If I try to stay caught up reading all these comments, I'd be here all day, which is a good thing. Paul says, hey, checking in from snowstorm in Minnesota. Man, I guess it still is only technically, well, for you, February 17th. So you still are dealing with snow. You unfortunately got to deal with that. I don't miss it at all. Haroon Hassan, I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. Haroon. Tony Lay says, hey Mike, Tony from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Hope you're doing good, brother. I enjoy your videos. Considering leaving USA. Well, hey, nobody says you have to leave the USA. You can just come and visit here. People always ask me if it's a first time, what would I say? Recommend, how long should you come here? uh, I don't know, at least a month if you can do it. Mayong Moto, hello. Amping, hello. But yeah, darn it, I lost it. Tony, yeah, I would like if I was you. I mean, but I can only give you advice based off of me. I stayed here for 2 months. Well, I scheduled to stay here for 2 months the first time I came to the Philippines, and then I ended up extending until from July of 2024, and I was here until March 17th of 2025. I obviously had the opportunity to do that, so not everybody can just, I get it, take off and just go and live somewhere and not have to worry about maybe working or something like that. I had money saved up, which allowed me to do that, and I'm thankful and blessed for that because did I really have a good idea after my first 2 months here if this is someplace I could live full term or full time, you know? And I guess I could say I did because 2 weeks prior to my first 2 months here, I'd mentioned to a friend, I'm like, I don't feel like going home. I can't believe I'm leaving in 2 weeks. I said, I don't feel like going home. And he said, well, if you don't have to, then stay. So I was able to stay, which gave me a great opportunity to truly learn to live here, embrace the culture, which again, I always say this, people are great. So that was like a great experience for me. And then that's what opened my eyes thinking, okay, I could actually live here and feel comfortable. Despite obviously rentals, apartments and homes are significantly cheaper than what I'd pay for in the United States. Yes, that was a factor, of course. And then being able to get my pension at 55 years old, which I'm 55, will be 56 in April of this year. So that also factored into my decision. And then when I figured out what my financial source of income was, I did the math and I was like, I can do this, I can make it work. And it was like kind of like an easy decision in a way. But the longer you can stay here, in my opinion, when you first travel here, for me, I think it's better. You're truly going to give yourself a true understanding and a feeling if you could make it work. Because my first 2 months here was almost like a vacation. I wasn't really living here per se. I was just vacationing, having fun, spending more money than than I do now, because it was more of a vacation mindset. Whereas then when I realized, okay, I'm going to try and live here, then that's where I truly got a true understanding of what it would be like and could I do it. And I love it here. I mean, I really do. The people are great. And sorry for ignoring these comments and questions. I'm not ignoring them. I'm just babbling. Zain Zaudi says, come to my country, Malaysia. Maybe someday. There's so many places I would love to visit in Malaysia. Or Asia, I should say. But when the opportunity presents itself, I have to budget my money, be smart, financially save up for things. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just very disciplined when it comes to managing my source of income, and I'm not getting carried away. Because then that's when I don't know. I don't want to stress about money. And obviously being here, you don't have to, but you can get carried away. And the next thing you know, I start feeling like how I felt in the United States, where you're always worried about financials. This one of those added stresses that I don't want anymore, that I don't miss, if that makes sense. Jet says, are you from USA? Come back home. Well, you know what? It's funny you mentioned that, Jets. My mom is 85. My father's 50 or 86. They're not getting any younger. They have their health issues and whatnot. And my mom recently said to me when I spoke to her within the last week, she said, just out of the nowhere, Michael, when are you coming home? So, yeah, Kyle, you're right. It is not very expensive for plane tickets. The first place, honestly, I want to go to is Japan. That's where I want to go. I want to go to Japan. But what else was I saying? Oh, just in regards to visiting back home. My mother's birthday is May 29th. So I was thinking, maybe I could surprise her and I would go home for at least a month. I said maybe I could go back to the US and surprise her for her birthday maybe. That's an option. Or I would just go back in, like, say July. Whenever I go back to the Pennsylvania in the States, I'm going back when it's summertime there. Last time I went home was in March and it was still too cold. My body's adapting well to this climate. And then when I went back in March, man, it was just too cold. Mayong muto. Kyle says Japan seems awesome. Yeah, that's kind of what I think. Just everything. I mean, I would at least go for 2 weeks. Probably end up going by myself for 2 weeks and just kind of. That's always been a place that's somewhat been on my bucket list. Even well before I even thought about coming to the Philippines. I was like, if I ever get to Asia someday, I said I want to go to Japan. So that's been a personal thing that I've wanted to always do, as long as I can remember. Yeah, it is expensive. And that's why I said I'd go there for 2 weeks, kind of see the main, I don't know, the main attractions, and then maybe find some hidden gems there for 2 weeks. But yeah, that's something I'd like to do. But maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll end up just being a quick one for a week, but at least I can say I've been there. I've flown through Japan on a layover, so I've been to Japan as far as the airport. That's about it. Old West is here, says good day. I hope you have a great day today, Michael. Thank you for being here, Old West. Appreciate you. We got a Farmanzadea, go to the Korea. I've flown into another place I've been to, Seoul, Korea, or whatever, on my layover. When I flew Korean Airlines from Atlanta, Georgia to Korea on my way back here in June of last year, that was the best airline I think I've ever flown on in my life. I'm not like Mr. Traveler and flown a ton in my life, but I've done a decent amount of flights to make comparisons, and I thought the Korean Airlines was awesome. Rick Young says, what city is this? This is Dumaguete, Philippines, Rick. Dumaguete, Philippines. Hey, Michael and Che, how's your day so far? Art Park. I'm doing good. I'm out walking, doing my live stream as I try to do on a consistent basis. Che was at the apartment. I'm not sure what she was doing. Kind of, I don't know, doing some laundry by hand. I know that. I take my laundry to a laundromat. She randomly does stuff. She likes doing her own washing by hand. She feels like washing by hand is more gentle, and she'll get, more longevity out of her clothes. Do people have to have a driver's license and insurance over there? I see there's no stoplights or even stop signs. It depends on where you live as far as the stoplights and stop signs. You do need to have a driver's license eventually. If I remember correctly, now I've never rented a motorbike or nothing since I've been here. I walk everywhere. But I think, I could be wrong, but if I remember, someone said when you first come here as a foreigner, as an American, your driver's hey, Mayong Moto. The license that you have back home is good for 60 days here, I think, until you would actually get a Philippine driver's license. I'm not 100%, but for some reason 60 days sticks in my mind. But yeah, I've never rented a motorbike. I've never even been on, I had no reason to. I walk everywhere. Not to say that at some point, if I want to venture off a little further and didn't just depend on me and Che, I'll just simply have to rent a motorbike, but I'm going to have to look into the whole license thing a little closer. Korean Air is the best, so is Singapore Airlines, says FRR. Yeah, I was just, like I said, that was the best experience. And that flight was long. From Atlanta to Korea, I think it was like 15 hours or so. But I was worried being on a plane in basic economy seats, sitting, getting up when you can. I was just worried, like how am I gonna feel? How uncomfortable am I gonna get? And actually, I was very comfortable. The food was great. The airline stewardess people were amazing. That was the best flight ever. The little TVs to watch movies and stuff, everything worked great. I had a really good time. I see Chief is here, says, hey, Michael, you always have the place to stay. I know, you said, when I come back to Pennsylvania, I can visit you down in West Virginia, which that would probably be an easy trip for me. It might just happen. I might have to make that happen. I can't make any promises right now, but yeah, from where I live in central PA to West Virginia is not that far. That's possible. Tarzan says, I got a license right away, 2014. One was for my wife and brother-in-law when it was easy. Mayung Muto. And yourself. All right, that's good. Thank you, Tarzan. Jeff Johnson says, hey, Mike. Hey, Jeff. Fine and Fox says, hey, Ralph, fellow Kiwi. Do you like the Middle East? I've never been to the Middle East, but I'm open to visiting anywhere. I don't care. I mean, I think it's really neat when you go to different countries. I mean, as far as me being here in Asia and the Philippines, I've had nothing but fun embracing and learning about the different people and the culture here. That's what makes it fun. Like, yes, I love the weather. Yes, I love the ocean and all those other things. But I always say this over and over. The reason I love being here in the Philippines the most is the people. It's a lot of fun learning, embracing a culture here. I love it. It's just not boring for me here. Always something new to learn. Plus, you meet so many people. Whereas back home in the States, I never met this many random people like that. I mean, basically in the U.S., you go do things, and you're lucky if you say hello to a complete stranger. But here, it's so different. Everybody, men, women, Filipinos, everybody's super nice here, super friendly, interested in getting to know you. Ralph says, hi again, you always have a place at 9 if you're ever over in New Zealand. That would be cool. And like I said, New Zealand's another beautiful country. I mean, I can only say it's beautiful based off of videos and stuff that I've seen, but yeah, I mean, beautiful, absolutely beautiful place. Wasn't it Lord of the Rings or something like that? That movie, wasn't that made and filmed in New Zealand? Maybe I'm wrong, but for some reason I think Lord of the Rings or the Hobbit movies or something were filmed in New Zealand. Could be wrong though. Michelle is here, says, hi Michael, hey Chad, hope all is well. Yes, Michelle, thank you for being here. Thank you for your continuous support. I consider you my friend, but you're a good friend. You always making comments on my channel, supporting even as a moderator and everything. So thank you for everything that you do. I greatly appreciate that. Now I feel bad because I think someone sent me one of those super gifts, but I have to scroll back, and I apologize if I didn't see it, but I'm going to keep going back and see if I see it pop up. Somebody somewhere. My apologies, but I thank you for the super gift. Let me see. Man, I don't know where it was at. I'm going back further and further. Well, whoever gave me that super gift, I greatly appreciate it. Ralph says, yes, Lord of the Rings filmed here. I knew one of the camera operators. Many a good yarn. Scott says, hi, Michael, who are you? Yes, Lord of the Rings is filmed in New Zealand. Who am I? My name is Michael. You do have that right for Scott. I'm from United States, living abroad here in Dumaguete, Philippines, and I do these occasional walking live streams through the city of Dumaguete. I'm an exercise walking crazy person. I walk a lot daily. So now I just walk and share a live stream on occasion. You know, just talk about whatever and let you guys tag along, which is truly a blessing, and I'm thankful that people are actually interested in being on my walk and live streams. Oh, good story. Thank you. Now I learned that. Good yarn means good story. I gotta say hello to my friends here at the bank. I think they're working. I think. Oh, I don't. There's my buddy, my young Muto. How are you? Good? Happy Wednesday. All right, man. See you. And that's just one example of the people that I meet here in the Philippines. I guess it's not bad being friends with security guards. Crown says, have you been to Summerlin Island? Where is Summerlin Island? I apologize if I'm not familiar with it, but if you don't mind being a little more specific, helping a brother out, I'd greatly appreciate it. Trying square meter lot. Trying to have you, nah. I guess Che's here somewhere. I probably missed Che. I apologize. Kyle said, do you ever drink? Nope. I haven't had a sip of alcohol in over, well, I know at least 20 years. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I rarely have soda, and if I do, it's like for a celebration reason when everybody else is drinking beer or an alcoholic beverage. I'll get like a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero, but rarely do I ever have anything like that. Augie,
Hi, Michael.
how are you doing? Muto, my own Muto. How are you doing today? Good?
No customer.
Busy or no?
Not busy.
Not busy. Well, it's Wednesday. What was yesterday or the day before a holiday? Was that Monday? I think Monday or Tuesday they said it was the Chinese New Year. Yesterday. Chinese New Year. Yeah, that's it. That's why a lot schools were closed. A lot of stuff was closed.
And other public workers closed.
Yeah.
But private is open.
Yeah, so say hello to my
Hi.
friend Augie. He's one
Hi.
of many, many amazing people here in the
Hi, guys.
Philippines.
Good.
Yeah, good friend, Augie.
This is Michael. Very nice.
If you don't know, this is Michael. Yeah, he's letting you know. Thanks, Augie. You have a good day, my friend. I'm gonna get back to walking.
Okay, Michael. Amping.
Humping. Yes, I do, Jeff Urgel. I do, you know me. I do drink a lot of coconut water. I like calamansi juice. I definitely like calamansi juice. What else? Bananas, pineapples here, mangoes obviously here. But yeah, when it comes to juice, heck, mix coconut water with calamansi juice. That stuff's pretty good. It's really good, actually. And with some honey, also with honey. And then here we got the famous Lee Plaza. What else? Well, you guys know this place, Jolly Bees. That's right, a friend of mine wanted me to show him different hotels because he's gonna be coming, his name's David, one of many Davids, but he's gonna be coming here, and he asked me when I was out doing a live stream if I could show some hotels. I'm gonna show ones that I've stayed at. He's gonna have to do a price check because I don't know what they currently are. But they weren't super, super expensive. Exactly, Fox. The calamansi, I think, just prevent a lot of vitamin C, a good punch, and it keeps you from, I think it helps keep you from getting sick. All right, so here's one. I don't know if David is on here watching, but you got Hotel, I might be saying it wrong, Nicanor. I've stayed here before on several occasions. This is a good hotel. They don't have a breakfast here, so that's why it would be a little less. So Hotel Nicanor, that is one that I remember off the top of my head that I did stay at. So I wanted to show, well, anybody for that matter, if you ever come to Dumaguete and you want to find a hotel that's nice but not super expensive, that would definitely be an option. Thank you so much, Chief. Much love and respect. Thank you so much. I always show my face when someone gives me a super chat. I think that's the respectful thing to do. Chief, you're a good man, a good West Virginian, my next door neighbor from Pennsylvania. And I appreciate that. You humble me all the time. You've been a good friend. You've been a supporter of mine, friend of mine for a very long time. I'm always blessed and thankful for your generosity and support. So thanks a lot, Chief. I appreciate you. Oops, I need to go down. What country is this? Says Ida Vata, Dumaguete, Philippines. And if you're a motorbike, I always like joking. If I had a motorbike that looked like everybody else's, I don't know if I'd ever find it. Kyle says, is calamansi sour or sweet? Hey, mayong muto. Calamansi is very sour, but when I get my calamansi juice, I only put a little bit of honey because mayong muto. I only prefer my calamansi juice to be more sour than sweet. So I put just enough honey, which is not much, to kind of get rid of the bitterness. But yeah, calamansi is sour. Now, there is something else that's even more sour than calamansi, and I'm trying to remember what it's called again. It's called Batwan, B-A-T-W-A-N, I think. It's called Batwan. I don't know if they use it like as in juice, maybe just more so in food, but it's very, very sour. I think it's called Batwan. Jess Bell says, hello from Minnesota. Well, hello, Jess. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Dumaguete, Philippines, out on my daily walk in Dumaguete. I know they call Dumaguete a city, but for me, places that I've been, not just here in the Philippines, I consider Dumaguete to be more like a town. Very friendly, the Bisaya language here, the people here in Dumaguete specifically are absolutely amazing, super wonderful people. I'm trying to think of the other hotel. There's one that's, is it right? No, I'll find it. There's another one, I think it might be up a street. I'm trying to remember where it is. Edie Vada says, are you vacationing or do you live there? I live here now. This is like my home away from home. Yeah, I'm an American living in Dumaguete, and people always ask me when I might be going back to the States. I came here in July of 2024 originally, went home in March of 2025, came back to the Philippines in June of 2025, and I've been here ever since. But my mother recently asked me, when am I coming home to visit? So it might be in May, by May 29th, to visit her for her birthday, or maybe July. But I do want to surprise her. I'm kind of thinking about it. She's 85 years old. I'm very close to my mother and father, and the more I think about it, I don't want my next reason to go home is because something happened to one of them. I don't want that to be my reason for going home. Michelle says, yes, holy smokes, literally. David says, amen, brother. Back to Dumaguete. Rooster says, you see that, Michelle? I don't know what. My buddy Mark is headed back from here in DC, Florida to reunite with his fiance May after 2 years. That's awesome, David. That's great to hear. You're not kidding, Rooster. Wow. That's just the same as calamansi, but it has spikes on the tree. I guess that's, you're talking about Batwan. Maybe this hotel's down. I'm trying to remember where this hotel is now. There's another one. I know there's some further away too that I could show. But I walk anywhere. I don't really care. Wherever people want me to do. As long as I have a signal, and I apologize about the wind. It feels good to me that I know it can obviously alter the sound for you guys. Crown Philippines TV says calamansi is a good mix to Ginbra Ginny. Must try. What is Ginbra? Oh, so gin, you're talking alcohol. Well, I'm sure it is good, but for me, I don't drink alcohol, so I won't be able to even give it a try. But I remember what gin tastes like, so I can imagine. He's even taken his dog back. German Shepherd just got all the permits. Chief says, Fox, I try to cook, but I'm not very good at it. Yeah, that's like Josh Wilson. He comes on here, he's a funny guy, and tells us how his little cooking experiences go south every time he makes. He says it goes from the kitchen counter to the trash can. I don't think, I'm trying to remember the street where that hotel is. You could almost jump and grab the wires too. Yeah, Rooster. Yeah, I could probably not far. I'm used to it now. When I first got here, yeah, you look at it and you're like, you wonder how safe that is and stuff like that. But a lot of it's just excess wire for, I think, emergency purposes. That's what I'm guessing. Someone mentioned they have extra wires, I guess, if they have flooding or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, right there, that would be like putting a lot of knots in my shoes. David said, yes, brother, he's excited. We had some real estate issues resolved for him. He's a great guy. Dubes is here. All right, Dubes, I see you. Kind of going back, scrolling as I'm walking, going back into this chat, trying to see what I missed. I apologize for missing people here while I'm walking and talking. It can be challenging at times. Rooster says we're looking at the telephone pole wires. Tony says, what's the coldest it gets over there? For me, maybe somewhere in the 70s that I remember was the coldest I can remember it ever getting for me. Maybe some people that live in more mountainous areas, islands, have gotten lower than that. But for me, it's been like somewhere in the 70s. But it's typically between 80 and 90 in my limited experience here. Chief says, really enjoyed the Twin Lakes video. That's great. I'm glad you liked it. We had fun. It's kind of like one of those spontaneous things. Kevin and Marinelle invited us. He was the hostess with the mostest, took us on rented the car and stuff, and they wanted to do that because they went to Manila. They're going up that way now. Kevin's not in Dumaguete. He might be coming back, but for now, he'll be up in Manila area, taking care of some family business with his girlfriend. Yeah, Valencia does get cooler. I mean, even yesterday or Monday when we went there, we went to Forest Camp in Valencia. It was super nice. Like the town, you just felt like it was springtime a little bit. This is another place people go to eat. Gen Z here in Dumaguete, for anybody curious. I don't know if I've showed it in the past, but I was trying to look for some of these hotels. I know there's another, oh, I see it from here. I haven't stayed there before, but it's called MY, like My Hotel, I think it's up this way. But again, I don't care. I walk everywhere. And then we got Matthew. I see you, Matthew Ruth. Hello, my friend. See, you always think you're missing the live stream, but you're here. You made it. It's all good. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate you all the time. You're great support. Sometimes it's just hard for me to see. But I'm weaving in between the traffic. Like I said, lot of people see me like, Michael, you're walking in the street. I'm like, yeah, I know. There's tricycles and motorbikes everywhere, cars. It kind of flows. However you can get across the street. I kind of wait a little bit, but I'll make my way across. I think this hotel's up this way. Now this one has a swimming pool, I know that, but it's very small. I never stayed here. It's up this way, but I know people that have stayed here. MY, my hotel. I'll show you. Whoever cares about hotels in Dumaguete. Is it raining, Michael? Not yet, Matthew, not yet. They're calling for a potential storm, but there's a system still out at sea that's heading south of us here in Dumaguete. And see, here's like, I guess that's used 64 motorbikes, 2,600. I don't know a lot about bikes, but anybody that cares about prices, down payments, prices. Well, I walked up here so I can see this hotel. It's up there. Yeah, I think right now I'm good. That's why I wanted to get the... See, here's another hotel. I've never been here. Fia Sol Hotel. I don't know. I've never been there, but that's another one. There's like hotels all over the place that I've never really even noticed. Don't pay much attention to. Yeah, there's the hotel I'm talking about. I know there's a pool, like a rooftop pool sort of, but it's very small. I went and looked at, when I first came to the Philippines, that was a hotel when I was bouncing around, checking out other hotels. That was one that I was interested in staying in. So I just said, I want them to show me. But when they showed me the pool, I mean, I'm talking, if there was more than 4 people in this pool, it was like too small. I was like, I'm not staying there. But yeah, it's right up here because it's got like the, I don't know, rainbow colors, orange, green, yellow. Do you use their currency or the US dollar? Tony, you use the Philippine peso here. Yeah, I use the Philippine peso here. I mean, I have American currency, but then obviously you exchange it for Philippine peso here. So many places, dental, pawn shop, hair salon. Yeah, here's the hotel. I think it's called My Hotel, like MY. I'll get on the other side of the street here, and then you'll be able to get a better look at it. Yeah, see, people always ask me, are there a lot of banks here? Yeah, there's banks all over the place. Union Bank. Now I'll see if I can cross the street. Well, was going to. I like it when people let you go. That's what's nice about here in Dumaguete. Yeah, see, MY Hotel. So I was right. I knew it was like NY, like New York, but it's MY. So yeah, there's a swimming pool in that hotel. Very small. I don't remember what the prices are on it. But that's another hotel. So I'm trying to hook up my one friend, David, who has been here. He's going to be moving to Dumaguete, if I remember that correctly, May or June. So they can be, his girlfriend's family, I think, lives in Cebu. Oslab, I think, Cebu. So they want to be closer. And then you got here, Hotel Essentia, which I've never stayed there, but I'm familiar with that. Hotel Essentia. Mayung. Yeah, you got Hotel Essentia. Lots of again, I don't know the prices, but for the most part, I think a lot of them are fairly nice. This one's big. Some of them obviously have like balconies. Let me get around here. Hey, Mayung hapon. Mayung hapon. Too much electric wire above in the street. Yeah, I mean, honestly, some places it's a little more congested, the wires, but here it doesn't look too bad. This just kind of reminds me of what it looked like in the States before, you know, they started putting all the power lines underground. But people have told me here, it probably won't ever happen. Number one, it would be a major expense. Imagine digging up all in the ground, laying the wire, very expensive. And then they said with the water and the flooding and stuff, it might not be such a good idea to put the wires underground here. At least that's what they've said. I don't know how updated this gas station is, because this sign's kind of smashed. A lot of people ask me the prices of gas. Diesel says $54.35 per liter, but that's, I don't know what that is. That can't be right. That's all smushed. Turbo diesel. Proud Indian says, which country are you in? Dumaguete, Philippines. Proud Indian. I'm in Dumaguete. Welcome, though. Thank you for being here as I walk around in the city of Dumaguete. I'm kind of in a different spot now. This is kind of neat. As long as I have a signal, I can do it. No, it's not too dirty. I don't think so, Proud Indian, but that's okay. If it's not good enough for you, then you certainly, if you know, you like what you like, you dislike what you dislike. So that's okay. That's what makes us all different. It's fine for me. There's much, in my opinion, there's much worse things in the world than whether something you consider something a little too dirty. I think there's bigger problems in the world than something being a little too dirty, but that's just me. Another Honda dealership, lots of motorbike, obviously, motorbike shops. That's a nice bike. In your opinion, Proud Indian, says Ruben. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. I'm not bothered by it. And quite honestly, once in a while on occasion, not all the time, if I see a random piece of trash on the ground, I'll pick it up and throw it in the trash. Maybe somebody else will see me doing that, and that'll start a chain reaction, snowball effect. You know, foreigner picking up trash, maybe somebody else will. But I mean, hell, there's places in the United States that were too dirty, if you want to say that also. I've been all over the world, and no place, or I haven't been everywhere, but comparing the United States to here, I mean, I've seen just as, if you want to consider it dirty there than I did here. Hey. But that's another thing you notice here. It's like a lot of these businesses, they all have security everywhere, which I like it. You know, obviously creates jobs. And I don't really see much. Maybe I'm just always at the right place, right time, but I never see, people always ask me about safety here. I always feel fine here. That's not to say that nothing could ever happen, but I feel safe. Watson's Pharmacy, popular. Is there any street lights, meaning traffic lights? Sylvester, not here in Dumaguete. I think there's one that I know of that's kind of on the opposite end of town to my left, down that way. It just works here. They don't need street lights. Would it improve things? I don't know. They've been doing it this way here for so long. It'd probably be a huge culture shock and probably take a long time to adjust if they had street lights. I always feel like the people here have like a sixth sense. Like they anticipate, they know when people are walking, they're very kind. They don't, well, most of the time they don't try to run you over. Back at the public market, down this way. I don't know if there's more hotels or not. Beauty is subjective. This place is beautiful in my opinion. Yeah, and what makes it so beautiful is the people. If you've never been here, I mean, I can say all I want and preach all I want about how nice the people are here, But until you actually experience it yourself, that's where you're gonna assess the things better yourself, not me. I can just give you an opinion, but just because I love it and like it doesn't mean you will or somebody else will, and that's okay. Everybody likes what they like. I'm just humbled here. My eyes have been opened a lot here. You know, I always say this, I grew up in, you know, America, spoiled, always felt like I had to buy things all the time to, you know, give me temporary happiness. Here, I'm just happy meeting people, being in a different culture, being a minority here in the Philippines. I like it. I feel very comfortable, and it's fun for me, but that doesn't mean it's like that for everybody, and I get that. Just like there's probably places that I don't like. Like I lived in Bacolod. I didn't have that big of a vibe there in Bacolod, Philippines. It was nice, had a lot of extra things like malls and all that stuff, but to me, the malls just made me feel like I was back home in the United States. I don't want to buy anything or shop. I want to have limited things here, so if I decide to move and go somewhere, I just toss it all in a backpack or whatever. I want to have limited stuff, enough to, you know, clothing, shoes, no furniture. That's why I always ran a furnished place. I don't want to buy any furniture, not right now, because then that's just more responsibility for me. If I buy an unfurnished apartment, buy all this furniture, and then I have to get up and go, I either got to try and sell it, which is not easy. Well, that's one inconvenience, or you know, try and get a moving truck and all that stuff. I just don't want to have anything to do with that. I did that stuff in the States. I just want to be a simple life. We got Niels here. Hello, Neil. Sorry if I didn't see you. Dennis Rosario says place nice, but first safety. I don't know. All about the people, same all over the world, says Possum. Yeah, I agree. Proud Indian says you have to get your eyes checked. Sylvester Brown says it makes me treat life better. Chris Scott says keep me in mind. Hello, Chris. Zelda says beautiful. Selena girl says a mafia there. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I never say that there isn't anything, because anything's possible. I'm not aware of one, and I don't associate with anybody. She's my friend. She works at Melting Pot. She's a server, waitress there at Melting Pot. I always run into somebody here. I walk everywhere, obviously, so I'm always running into somebody. But right there, now I got you. Neil says, hey, how are you? How are you, Niels? Mayong hapon, good afternoon. 1:05 in the afternoon, Dumaguete. Out and about, my friend. Haven't done a live stream since Saturday, I think, and I'm back. Jason Effects here. Sorry I missed you. Says hello everyone. Hello Michael. Hope you're having a great day. Yes, I'm having an excellent day. Like I said, I'm just happy to be alive and wake up healthy every day. I'm glad. I'm happy for that. Mayong hapon. Mayong hapon. Yeah, I'm happy just to wake up every day and have good health that allows me to get out. No setbacks, you know, no achy joints, nothing like that. I'm just thankful for it. So just for me to simply get out and walk, I'll take it. I'll take it. But if you're new to the channel, my name is Michael from the United States, living here abroad in Dumaguete, Philippines. If you haven't given me a like, I'd greatly appreciate a like. That just helps my channel grow. And if you're not a subscriber and you want to support my channel and just follow my journey, watch any videos, I greatly appreciate it. But if not, that's okay too. But happy Wednesday in Dumaguete, Philippines. 11:06 p.m. here, Tuesday, says Wally Bear. Hello, Wally Bear. Welcome. Proud Indian says, India doesn't have any trash, like these people are civil and maintain. Again, you know what? Nothing's perfect in this world. I understand. I guess the only thing you can hope for is things improve and maybe get better. That's the best thing. But it takes a lot of people to pitch in when it comes to stuff like that. So, again, it doesn't bother me here. Sylvester Brown says, I just did both. Well, I appreciate that, Sylvester Brown. Thank you so much. Sylvester Brown, did you tell me where you're from? And if you did, I apologize. But now I'm curious as to where you're from. I like when people tell me where they're from. Sometimes even what's the weather like where you're at. Seems like a lot of people I talk to on here on my live streams tell me how cold it is. Maybe I'll go straight down this way. All right, here I saw Sylvester. You said you're from Tampa. All right, see, when I lived in Florida for almost 2 years, I lived in Stuart, Florida, and Palm City, Florida, which are basically right beside each other. I lived on the East Coast. But I did like Tampa, clear water. It's just the water was a little too calm for me on the Gulf side. I prefer the rougher seas on the East Coast. But yeah, if I was still living in the States, I would hopefully get back to Florida. That's where I'd want to live. I'm a warm climate, warm weather kind of person. But again, if I was living in the United States, I'd still be working. Even right now, I'd have to work. I could not afford to live on what I'm living on here in the States. I'd still have to work. And that was another, whoa, almost tipped his bike. That was another thing that weighed into my decision. Do I want to gamble? Although I'm healthy now, there's no guarantee for tomorrow. So that was another thing that weighed into my decision. Like, I want to get somewhere and do something now, still have the health, instead of planning for an unknown future. I have no idea what my health and joints and knees and everything. I don't know what it would be like. So if I would have waited to do all this stuff, maybe I'd be limited on enjoying certain things here. You know, being physically able to do things now is more important to me than waiting for an unknown future where I might not physically be able to do anything. And I'm the type of guy that's so active and likes to keep moving around. I couldn't even, I mean, I don't look forward to the day that I'm technically sitting on the sidelines watching everybody else enjoy life, and I can't participate or do those things. So that's why I'm taking the mindset now, either use it or lose it now. And again, I can't control injuries or anything like that, but I think a lot of people sustain injuries when they don't actively do things, and then they go to do something that they haven't done in a while, and that's usually when you pull something or injure yourself because you're not strong enough. So hopefully by doing what I'm doing will prevent me from having injuries or anything in the future. Lita June, Mayung Hapon. Lita June says, I was just in Thailand with my husband and had a layover in Manila. Is it safe there? We feel very safe in Thailand. I mean, Lita June, my apologies if I'm not pronouncing your name right. I feel perfectly safe here, but I can only speak for myself. Is there maybe other foreigners that could share a story with you that they had a bad experience here? Of course. But then, I mean, I could have bad experiences here or unsafe experiences in the U.S. no matter where I'm at. I don't think any place is free of any type of issues or problems. Just be aware of your surroundings. Maybe don't go to places that maybe you shouldn't go to, but my honest opinion, I've always felt completely fine and safe here. knock on wood, like, you know, that's not to say something couldn't happen to me in the future or I'm put in an awkward situation, but it hasn't happened to me yet, I guess I should say. Or, you know, but again, someone could give you some story that would maybe give you a different thought. But a lot of people didn't even want me to come to the Philippines initially either, because they were fearing for my safety, even to come here. Like, you know, and these people were never even here before. You know, there's a lot of negativity that's put out on social media that sometimes outweighs the positives, which, in my opinion, there's more positives going on in the world than there are negatives. But they amplify the negatives because that's what sells, that's what clicks, that's what people want to see. Seems like it anyway. I don't care about that stuff. I just try to bring my positivity that I experience, but I'm only one person. Just because I'm happy and have a positive mindset, that doesn't mean everybody else is like that. Lida June says, we're from California. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you're here sharing your time, you know, I always say precious time with me. I appreciate that. ABC is here. Hello, ABC. Sylvester said, where are you heading to? I'm going back towards the ocean, the water again. It's probably going to be windier down here with the breeze blowing, and I apologize. I'd like to give people a glimpse and just show you how close from the city the ocean is. I mean, it's a couple blocks you're into the city, a couple blocks you're right at the ocean, which is along the boulevard here. Hey, along the boulevard. So yeah, I'm just going towards the water right now just to give you thank you. Now I see Wally, somebody gave me the 100 the super gift or whatever. Thank you so much, Wally Bear. Oops. Thank you, Wally Bear. I greatly appreciate your generosity. You just giving me your time and hanging out with me as I walk around. Like I said, I do this to motivate and inspire people, but I also do this because there are people somewhere in the world watching right now, maybe for health reasons, disabilities, they could never travel here and do this. Or maybe financial reasons, they couldn't do it either. So not only do I want to motivate people who have the opportunity maybe to come here or experience something new, at least try it once. You either like it or you don't like it. But then there's people that will never get to do things. And I hate to say that and know that, but that's true. And I know there's people that come to watch this just to be able to experience those things. So yeah, here we are at the boulevard. Again, I apologize for the wind. I don't like wearing my mics all the time, just for no particular reason, but you can definitely see it's choppy. That's because we have a system coming at some point. That's the port right there. And you can take a speedboat right there, that white and blue one, Ocean Jet. Sikihor Island, you can be there in 30 to 40 minutes. Lots to see on Sikihor Island, very beautiful over there. I've seen very few places over there. Cebu is that, you can see that island in the background. Very convenient here. Again, the wind, I'm not gonna walk too far, but this gets very active later in the day. Very popular. Wait, I'm trying to read. Hunt Bar says he loves the sound of the wind. Well, I appreciate it. It feels good to me, but I know if I'm talking and then you guys can't hear me, then I feel bad. Maybe I can go down this way and then cut up. Like I said, I can't really block the wind. I don't know how bad it sounds. The blue building is the Bethel Hotel. Yeah, you're exactly right. Blue and yellow, that's the Bethel Hotel. Even over here, you got the Honeycomb, you got Why Not, you got some place, and some people were joking about it because it didn't click with me. I guess it's another bar called Pink Taco over here. I'm sure you can figure out what that probably means. Yeah, it's definitely windy. Mayong hapon. But yeah, like I said, it feels super super good to me. I know it's very windy for you guys. Donnie Holcomb says, hello, Micah. Hey, Donnie. Annie Haler says, it doesn't sound bad. Well, that's good. Caramel Cappuccino is here. Richard says, pink taco. Yeah, like I said, I did a video the one day, and I just saw it because people always ask me about Mexican food here. I'm a big fan of Mexican food also. So people are like, hey, can you get Mexican food in Dumaguete? And then I was out doing it wasn't an actual typhoon. They called it the most recent typhoon. It was like a tropical depression. But I was walking by here and I saw the pink taco and I was like, oh, I'm thinking tacos. And then someone commented and said, Michael, I don't think that means tacos as in food. And I was like, you're probably right. Henry Broussard says, how are we doing today? I hope we're having a little fine day. Yeah, I'm having a fine day. So far, so good. I think I'm going to be okay. And the storm won't hit until well after my live stream, so I'm good in that part. But thank you for being here, Henry. Billy says, good thing you don't have to hear to read. Unbar says, your video of Boracay. Oh, you mean Little Boracay. That is a beach in Sikihor that resembles the true Boracay. Now, I've never been to Boracay. Hopefully someday I get there. And if I do, Che and I will go there. Definitely Gino and his wonderful wife, Dazzle. We would look forward to meeting and hanging out with them. And if you're not familiar with Gino has his YouTube channel. It's called Dazzle TV. I want to give a shout out to Gino and Dazzle, but it's called Dazzle TV. I really like Gino, have a lot of respect for him. He's just a genuine, down-to-earth guy. That's why I like him. I can relate. Mayung Hapon, good afternoon to you. Nick says hi. Caramel Cappuccino says a bit overcast. Yeah, it is. Like I said, we're kind of anticipating a rainstorm. There's a system on the radar, fairly big, was heading this way. I think it's said maybe like 5 p.m. or something like that. It might start raining, but I'm gonna go down this way. Where is this? Looks cool. R3D. This is Dumaguete, Philippines. There's one of my favorite coffee shops right here. Butt First Coffee. If you're ever in Dumaguete, go to Butt First Coffee. That's like one of my favorite places right there. They're like family to me there. So like I said, take note. Butt First Coffee. Very easy to get to. Great people, great owners, great employees. They treat me like family there. Technically, they don't treat me. I am family to them. I've known them ever since I got here, and yeah, I get invited to baptisms of their child. I get invited to Christmas parties for their employees, and no, I don't work there. Rolanda says, hello, London Bridge. Oh, Billy and Rose says, I'm in Michigan and it's raining. Well, I guess rain's better than snow, Billy. I'm surprised you're only getting rain and not snow, but I guess you're getting closer. You guys are starting to warm up a bit, maybe. I don't know, what is I mean, I know it's not snowing, but have you guys hit the 50s yet lately in Michigan? Yeah, I've been to Bo's Coffee. It's okay. Actually, Bo's Coffee is a little more expensive, and I didn't particularly think there was anything great about it. It was fine. It was like, I think I probably had some sort of iced coffee. It was fine. Nothing that blew me away. I do like Butt First a lot. On occasion, I'll hit up a Starbucks. It's okay. Quite honestly, sometimes some of the cheapest coffee you get here in the Philippines is some of the better ones, the less expensive. Hey, Kissing the Dreams here. Wow, I feel like I haven't seen you in a while. Thursday forecast, SC 78 degrees. Now that sounds more like it. That's more my speed. Warm shorts and t-shirts. That's definitely more my speed. Daylight is longer, and yes. Well, yeah, it only stays daylight here, obviously, until around 6 o'clock all year round. There's no daylight savings or any of that. I mean, it is nice, I have to admit. Summertime in the East Coast and the U.S., you know, staying daylight till like 9 o'clock and almost 9 o'clock at night, prime time in the middle of summer. I do like that. I like being outside in the daylight, so I do like that. I miss that. So you just got to get up earlier here in the Philippines and be out in the daylight and sleep when it's dark. Some of it gets so dark. Kissing the Dream says shout out. The roads are so nice, says Billy and Rose. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming, obviously, they don't get snow here. They don't have plow trucks jacking up the asphalt. So I'm sure that obviously gives the roads longer life. I mean, not having to fix potholes from plows and stuff. But, I mean, they're as good as you need here. I mean, they're flat, no potholes. At least through the city, I don't have any issues. Caramel Cappuccino says, I was just there Christmas and New Year. Now I feel like going back. Yeah, I know that feeling, Caramel Cappuccino, because, again, I hate to go back to when I first came here in July of 2024. And then when I went home in March of 2025, it was within probably the first week of being home in the United States where I missed this place. I wanted to come back. I missed the friendliness. I missed the it just felt like there was more positive energy here than back home. Always people saying hello, waving to you, smiling. Sorry, I don't have that back in the US. That's just a fact. Not like it is here. I mean, yeah, part of it, I'm sure you're a foreigner, so you're gonna get more attention and all that kind of stuff. But, okay, but they're still very friendly here. Very, very friendly. Donald Beatty says, thank you for sharing. My wife of 57 years is from Rojas City. We've never seen Dumaguete, but would like to someday. I was stationed at Clark Air Base for 3 years back in the 60s. Well, Donald, hey, Mayung Hapon. Mayung Hapon. I appreciate you being here, Donald Beatty. That's really nice. I've seen videos of Rojas City. Rojas City would probably be a place that I'd like. My dream case scenario would be living somewhere close to a beach. I know that's easier said than done. Kind of having the little conveniences that we all want. But for me, I'd rather live closer to the ocean than further away from it. That's just me. I'm a beach, ocean kind of guy. But I've seen a lot of good videos with Rojas City, and it seems really nice. I've never, but it looks like some place that I probably would enjoy. Billy says, looks like a fun place to enjoy your time. Yeah, like I said, I know some people don't like the city. They feel it's like a city life kind of thing here. I don't feel that way, and I'm not necessarily a city guy at all. But I do, it's smaller than Bacolod. Bacolod's a city to me. Again, I think Dumaguete's like a town. For me, that's what it feels like, a town. Very, kind of like everybody knows everybody here. Or with as much walking around as I do, they know who I am. They figure out who I am. They're comfortable seeing me all the time. I become familiar to them. But but it's more active here also. Like, I do like privacy and being alone and, you know, not having so many people around me. But I don't feel that bad here with, you know, the locals. I don't mind. I feel like the more I'm surrounded by the locals, the more it motivates me. I kind of like being around the locals. Now, maybe if I'd go to a place that was more touristy with more foreigners like myself, maybe I wouldn't like it as much. I don't know. So for me, being a minority here, I like it more. There's my friends over there. Hey, Donald, no problem. I just, like I said, I want people to sometimes realize if I miss a comment accidentally, I apologize. I know all your comments and your questions matter. You take the time to send them to me, and I appreciate it. It's just very difficult for me to keep up sometimes, depending on how many people are in here. And the more people, the better. I'm thankful for that and appreciate that. That's a blessing. Certainly better to have too many people than too little, for sure. So just know that I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys taking your time to hang out with me when you could be doing so many other things. But that means a lot to me. ABC says, doing great. Stannis, something like that, says hello. And then we have HY1982 says hello. Lynn said, did you take Che out for dinner Monday? What? Yeah, we did end up going. Hey, my young Hapon, how are you, my friend? Yes, we did end up going out for dinner on Monday. Or actually, what did we do? We ordered takeout. We were kind of just tired from the day. Monday was when we went to Twin Lakes and we went to Forest Camp. So by the time we got back, we knew we weren't gonna, well, Che wasn't gonna be cooking any food. But then we really weren't in the mood to go out anywhere. So I said, let's order Grab, we'll order takeout, and that's what we did. She ordered something from Melton Pot, chicken katsu burger, and then I ordered 2 burgers. I was hungry from a place called Black Paprika. It's not like not the normal chain type. It's not like a McDonald's. It's called Black Paprika. I never had it. So they make smash burgers. So I ordered 2 burgers from Black Paprika, and they were actually really good. Other than Astoria burger, those are the only ones I've really tried that I actually enjoyed. So yeah, we cheated. We didn't go out to dinner. We just ordered takeout, Grab. Hey, Brian, how are you? Hello, my friend. Where have you been? Haven't seen you in a while. And again, I'm only teasing you. I know people get busy, have other obligations. Chase here says hello to Brian. Fortune's here. I don't know if I just noticed. Fortune says good AM to Che and just got done with Ash Wednesday Mass. Thank you for being here, Fortune. Art Park says good. How are you, Che? Are there large indoor pools there? That I don't know. I can't answer. This pizza is supposedly really good too. Angels. I think I've had it once or twice. It's not bad. I still prefer Astoria's pizza. But yeah, as far as indoor pools, I would like to think maybe some exist. I haven't been to any indoor pools, but maybe Che or even Fortune might know that. Caramel cappuccino. No, I got to go to Casa Aurora Falls. Che and I are gonna. I just said that to her when we got back from Twin Lakes and Forest Camp. I said, let's just get some sort of transportation and go to Casa Aurora Falls. So we are definitely gonna do that next. I'll probably make a video of that little trip, as long as it's entertaining and not boring. I don't like boring with people. A lot of people make the same videos of everything, and I don't like to regurgitate things. I don't know, it could be boring, so. Fortune saying hello to Chief. Chief saying hello to Che. Jep, hey. Jep Spicoli says, we Filipinos welcome you, sir, and hope you have a pleasant trip in the Philippines. Jep Spicoli or whatever, I love it here in the Philippines. It's more than a vacation now. I basically live here, but I appreciate that comment, complimentary, welcoming comment. I love that. We Filipinos welcome you, sir, and hope you have a pleasant trip. I love it here. I love it here in Dumaguete, Philippines. The best part is the people. The people, the Philippine locals are what make the Philippines special. I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the people. I'd probably be bored. Even though there's a lot to do, I probably would be bored. I enjoy embracing the community and the culture here, and that's what makes the biggest difference for me. Would you settle down in Dumaguete, sir? It's too soon for me to answer that, Caramel. I'm just going to call you CC, Caramel Cappuccino. I don't know if I'd actually settle, because there's other places I'm going to eventually... See, they just put in Abinson. That's like an electronics store there not that long ago. There's so many places I want to visit. So I could end up visiting some other island somewhere else and be like, wow, I like this place better than Dumaguete. I mean, for now, I'm just in renting mode. And if something sparks my interest and I visit somewhere else, which are so many places Boracay for one. I want to visit Gino and Dazzle. So, I mean, just from that perspective, I could end up going to somewhere else and like it better than here. I've only technically lived in two places. I've lived here in Dumaguete, and I lived at least 4 months in Bacolod. And comparing the two, I preferred Dumaguete better than Bacolod. But that's just me. Other people like Bacolod, bigger city. Landers, which is like a Costco, S&R, which is like another BJ's, Costco wholesale. They like the Ayala Mall. They like S&M Mall. They like all the malls and stuff like that. I was bored there. I was really bored. I mean, I met I have friends from there. I still keep in touch, locals from Bacolod. But I was just much happier here, had a better vibe. Simply seeing the ocean meant a lot to me, just seeing the ocean. I know it might not sound like much, but for me, I'm an ocean guy, and why the heck would I live on an island when I can't see the ocean? That's the way I feel. Some people don't need the ocean or need to see it. I do. Mo Chubby says Siargao is better than Boracay as a tourist destination, in my opinion. Thank you, Mo Chubby. I've heard a lot of good things about. Sorry if I think it's Siargao, something like that. Now you're saying it's less touristy than. I know Boracay is very touristy, from what I've seen. There's a lot of people that visit there, and rightfully so. It's really pretty, and it's beautiful location, but. When I do see people making videos, there are a lot of tourists there. But I'm at least going to go there once. So you're saying Siargao isn't as touristy, I guess. I'll keep that in mind, Mo Chubby. I appreciate you sharing that with me. And that's some of the things, like I said, I don't mind being surrounded by locals. But I don't know if I would really like being surrounded by so many tourists, foreigners in a location. I think then I just feel like I'm back home. That's why I like here in the Philippines feeling like a minority. I like it. I embrace it. The majority of the foreigners goes to Siargao. Oh, okay. I would probably still, like I said, I would visit anywhere. Like I said, you're truly not going to know whether you're going to like something or not until you actually get there yourself. Regardless of what I say about things that I like, it doesn't matter. It all comes down to what you like. Everybody likes as an individual. What I like, you might not like. What you like, I might not like. Or we might meet, you know, have common ground with places as well. And that's okay. That's what makes us all different. Caramel Cappuccino says, I agree, sir. Brian says, yes, lots of tourists on Boracay, but you can get away from the crowds if you want. And see, and that's good. Like I said, there's got to be, I'm sure Gino probably knows this too. There's probably lots of places, like hidden gems that are near, like, the real touristy locations that you can find. Like I said, sometimes I'm okay with crowds. I mean, obviously here. And sometimes you just want to be alone, you know, you want to get away from it. But I never feel overwhelmed by all this traffic, to believe it or not. When I first came here, I was like, oh my gosh, how does this all work? No street lights, no stop signs. It was a little crazy. But then after I was here for a while, and you just, I don't know, you kind of walk the same way they drive. And you just kind of just go with the flow, and it works. And then I learned that over time. It just works. So although for someone new, it may look chaotic, overwhelming, but it's really not that bad once you get used to it. Yeah, once you get used to it, it's not that bad. But yeah, there's lots of banks. You got PSB Bank, you got Philippine National Bank. Like, people always ask me, are there a lot of banks? Yeah, I mean, sometimes I notice banks that I didn't notice before, but there are lots of banks. There's like hardware stores, motorbike shops for parts and stuff. I mean, I don't think there really is nothing that you can't get here, with the exception of maybe some certain food items, which unfortunately even me, I can't get. Blueberries, I'm a big blueberry fan. They're not the easiest to come by, blueberries here, especially wild blueberries that I would get back home, so I do miss that. Mo Chubby says, riding mopeds for the first time. You know, I haven't rode one here yet in the Philippines. Hey, Mayong Hapon. I haven't rode any yet, and I'm sure I'll be overwhelmed the first time I try it, and rightfully so. I mean, I've rode motorcycles before, mopeds, but never here, obviously. And you know, I still have the American travel driving mindset, so I might still be thinking like I'm driving in the US, and then the way I react is going to be different than the way they react. So it's almost like I just have to remember when that time comes. I wouldn't mind like going on like back road, more provincey road, to practice at first and then make my way into the city, instead of starting in the city and then coming in, you know, going away from the city. Maybe that would be an easier transition, but at some point I'm gonna have to do it. I just basically my hand hasn't been forced to rent a motorbike yet, or even ride one. Are most streets in Dumaguete one way? They kind of rotate that stuff during the time of the day. Places where it is one way, sometimes they open it up to two-way streets, certain locations. Here, I think this is always one way. But there are other locations where they turn into 2 lanes one way, and then later in the evening, after people get out of work and school or whatever it may be, near Silliman College, they kind of run it one way until a certain time, and then they open it back up and it goes to 2-way. But not all of them, no. You have 2-way streets certain times of the day. It fluctuates, I guess, depending on the volume of traffic. Jay Plays Casual says, where is this? This is Dumaguete, Philippines. I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. Welcome, though. I'm from the United States, living abroad here. Introduce myself again if anybody's new to my channel. My name is Michael, from the United States. Basically grew up and raised in Pennsylvania my whole life. With the exception of almost 2 years, I lived in Florida. I prefer the warm weather of Florida. But if I was still living in the United States with my current financial income, I'd still be working in the US. I couldn't live on what I'm living on here. Just couldn't do it. So yeah, that's another benefit of being here in the Philippines. Not my main reason for choosing here, but it is a benefit when you're significantly cheaper, you know, when it comes to cost of living. But yeah, if I was still in the States, I'd still be working. Mo Chubby, wow, that went quick. Says, have you adapted well to the extreme Philippine heat? Mo Chubby, I didn't really even have to adapt to heat. I'm a hot weather person, kind of crazy. Normally, when I'm doing my live streams, I'm out here in the hottest time of the day. Today's not really anything just because it's cloudy. It's very easy for me. Some people, I mean, I probably handle the heat sometimes better than some of the locals. I thrive. My energy level goes through the roof. I love sunlight. I love being out in the hot heat. It just motivates me. So no, I didn't have any issues adapting. The only thing I had to adapt to when I came here from the US was the time change. It's currently 13 hours difference. I'm 13 hours ahead of my family in Pennsylvania, but then when they turn the clocks back or whatever, it goes back to 12. That was the biggest thing I had to adapt to. Then that took maybe a few weeks my first time here to feel normal again, adjusting to the 12-hour time difference. But the heat was no issues. Rain said, the man is not from the United States, the man is from the moon. The moon is made of cheese. Maybe I'm from the moon, I don't know, it could be. David Lappy says, my parents made me ride a moped until I turned 18, LOL. First week driving a car, I got into a wreck, oh boy. No one was hurt, which that's good. It was a fender bender. My dad made me pay the court costs, lessons learned. And that's another thing, David. Sometimes you just have to do things and you got to make mistakes to be able to learn from them. And there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's, you know, you're not jeopardizing your life or somebody else's. Jeremy Lee says, I'm seeing a lot of people move in different countries. Well, yeah, I mean, I think some people are doing it because they want to experience something different. I'm going to go back down towards the ocean again. I think some people do it just to, for me, coming to the Philippines, I just wanted to experience, I've never been to Asia. So I wanted to try something different in life and do it while I still had my health, physically, mentally. That's why I wanted to come here. And then when I learned about the Philippines, I'd always heard about the Philippines, but I didn't truly know a lot about it. And then when I started researching just tropical, warmer climates, 80 to 90 degrees all year round, Philippines was one. I'm like, okay, I've never been to Asia. I started looking into it more and more. And that's what brought me here. And it's the best decision for me that I ever made. I'm so glad that I decided to just try something different, not be scared or intimidated or overwhelmed. And I took a leap of faith and I came to the Philippines. And I'm so glad I did. For me, it was an eye-opener. Mayong hapon. It's an eye-opener. I love it here. It's a lot of fun. I love the people here. And again, no regrets whatsoever. And that's what another thing. I want to make decisions, choices in life. I don't want to be sitting in my end days. I've said this before. I don't want to be sitting in my end days saying, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. I may probably never be able to do everything that I want to do in life or experience things, but I know I'm certainly doing a lot more now than maybe what I would have in the past. Lynn Angel says, where is Groupie at the pool? I mean, you mean like Che? She's not swimming at the pool, if that's what you're asking. Whoops. Dandy Dave says, glad you seem to enjoy your stay. Any fears or signs of gangs that could kidnap you? You know what, Dandy Dave, no. I had friends and family saying stuff like that before I even, hold on. I had friends and family that were saying, oh my gosh, don't go to the Philippines. Someone could do this, do that, yeah. Are any of those things possible? Yes. That could happen anywhere. But it was like fear mongering me not to come to the Philippines. And I haven't had anything remotely even close to anything like that even happen. I haven't had a bad experience. Maybe I'm just lucky. But a lot of the people that were making comments were the ones that have never been here. They watch all the negative videos or something like that. There's more good, in my opinion, in the world than there is bad. But for whatever reason, everybody likes to focus on the bad. And that's what supersedes the good, unfortunately. But no, I've never felt unsafe here whatsoever. Let me see. Caramel Cappuccino says sea change. Maurice says, I really hope you will get to like the way we live here in the Philippines. We take care each day, slow and easy here. I love it here in the Philippines. I wouldn't still be here as long as I've been here. I mean, I'm basically living here on a tourist visa as long as I can do it because I love being here. I wouldn't be here if I didn't love it. Yeah, beautiful people. Exactly, Shirley. Haseen says hi, I think. Candy or Dandy Dave says awesome. Trump Bunny said hi. Brian says kidnappings have happened, but depends on where you go and how aware you are, I think. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not probably going to the most unsafe, conspicuous kind of places. You know, I'm pretty much out in the open. Tony says, Mike, Tony from Santa Fe, New Mexico, how much in the US dollars is your rent and utilities? Tony, let me give you a little. Number one, as far as that goes, I have a video. If you go to my recent videos on my YouTube channel, it's called Apartment Tour. On the thumbnail picture, it's like me holding my hand up, and it shows I pay $400 a month for my rent, and it shows you everything, gives you a quick little breakdown of everything in a 10-minute video. But my rent is $400. It's very small, my apartment, which is okay. I don't want a big apartment. Shower, kitchen area, again, small. Has a swimming pool on site, has a gym on site, has security on site, more modernized apartment. People, they rent out units as a Airbnb also. Again, the Wi-Fi is included. I pay water and electric separately. My water was like $7 for a month. My electric was like, oh man, like 30, 40. It's not much. Like 1 month, my water was pesos. It was like 500, between 400 and 500 pesos for water. Again, when you convert USD and Philippine pesos, I made the mistake one time of putting Mexican pesos, and it's completely different than Philippine pesos. So yeah, it was like 400 to 500 pesos for the water for the month. Electric was like 2,700 pesos. But it can fluctuate. It depends on running the air condition. We only run the air condition when we sleep for the most part. You can open the window and kind of crack the door, and a draft comes through the window and the door, and it feels really good. We're on the 8th floor, so maybe that helps. But watch that video, Tony. It's like 10 minutes, 11 minutes long. Very quick, very non-professional, because a lot of people were asking me to make a video tour of my apartment. So I just kind of did a quickie, nothing special, walkthrough tour. So check that out. But that's just like a little idea before you would watch the video. Mo Chubby says, I love visiting the Philippines, but I was not loving the toilet system and lack of toilet paper in the comfort rooms. Yeah, Mo Chubby, well, honestly, for the most part, I try to make sure I do number two. I never get caught in a situation where I got to do number two outside of my apartment. I know you can't predict every time you're going to have to go to the bathroom where toilet paper is necessary. And if you're somebody that doesn't know and has unpredictable, you're not like on a schedule, your best bet might be to, I don't know, carry a backpack or something like that and keep a spare roll of toilet paper in a backpack, that would be my suggestion. But yeah, that can be like, they don't just have a lot of public bathrooms with just toilet paper on demand. They just don't. I don't know why. I don't know if people are taking it. I have no idea that reason why they do that. Trump Bunny says, I met some people from there, incredible people. Yeah, they're amazing. That's what I love about the Philippines, is the people. I say that over and over, but it's true. Caramel Cappuccino says that's pretty good. La 6508 says, hello, bucket list destination for sure. Yeah, Japan's on my bucket list too. But actually the Philippines was never on my bucket list. But now that I've been here, now that I know what I know, it would definitely be someplace that I would recommend people to check out if they're interested in just seeing other parts of the world and they're a warm weather climate kind of person. But again, just visit here. The worst you can do is not, the worst that can happen is you don't like it. But at least you tried it, and then you know. How's the job market for Americans? Trump Bunny, I have no idea about the job market. I'm retired. I came here retired. I'm not working, unless you want to include YouTube, which is very minimal. Any money that I make from YouTube, and I never started YouTube for any reason other than for fun. Whatever becomes of it, great. That wasn't a part of my plan or finance plan when I came here to the Philippines. I just enjoy sharing my experiences here and hopefully inspire and motivate other people to take a leap of faith, get out of their comfort zone and try something different. So sorry, Trump Bunny, I really don't know anything about the job market. Mo Chubby says, people in the Philippines are very respectful. I've been addressed as sir many times, more than they do in America. Yeah, I'm always called sir. A lot of times I tell them, they can just call me Michael. I know they do it as a respect thing, but calling me sir makes me feel like I'm somebody special. Like some, I don't know. Like, I don't even feel like I'm worthy of being called sir. But it's okay. I understand why they do it. Very respectful. I'm not used to it. But I always tell them, you can just call me Michael. You don't need to give me any special treatment or honor of calling me sir. Hunt Bar says, is there a beach in Dumaguete that has gentle waves? The waves in the background look very rough. Yeah, that's not really a beach where I was at. There are beaches nearby Hunt Bar that aren't very rough. Actually, it reminds me of like being on the Bayside in Tampa, Florida. It's not very rough at all. LA 6508 says, a middle-class income can live like royalty over there, I hear. Yeah, you can be, everybody that lives here more experienced than me kind of came up with a number saying you can basically live here very comfortable as a single person for like minimum $1,200 a month, and you could live fairly well over here. The more the better, But yeah, that's what I've heard also. Mo Chubby says, carrying a bag with toilet paper and spray alcohol was something I learned to do for myself in the Philippines. Yeah, exactly. I think it's like Chaton. Maybe Chaton has nice beaches. Yeah. Ricky Woolman says, average pay $1. Caramel Cappuccino says, that's true. Grinding Coconut says, no, they call me Po. I like the name Grinding Coconuts. That's good. James Epps says, hey, good afternoon to you, and it's good morning to us. How are you? I'm doing good, James. Welcome here, James. Long time no see. Sebastian says, how long have you been there? Well, I moved here in July of 2024. Was only supposed to stay for 2 months. Extended my stay because I was able to. Didn't have any obligations and financially, so I stayed from July of 2024 until March 17th of 2025, went back to the United States, realized after all that I wanted to live here part-time, home away from home, came back in June 12th around there, and I've been here now since June of 2025. CKN, hey CKN, happy trails, dude. Yeah, street trails today. No back trails like the Twin Lakes or Forest Camp, which was a lot of fun though. That last minute, unplanned, kind of winging it kind of day ended up being really fun. Sebastian says, that's cool. What state are you from? Pennsylvania. But I lived in Pennsylvania all my life, with the exception of 2 years. I did live in Stewart and Palm City, Florida. I do prefer warm weather of Florida. If I was still living in the United States right now, I would have to still be working. And yeah, I don't want that. So that's why I'm here. Let me see. Where are we at? We're like at 106 minutes. Oh, grinding coconuts. You were born in Hershey. Well, I was born in Altoona, Pennsylvania. But my current, I guess, address is in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. So I'm very familiar with Hershey, Pennsylvania. Caramel Cappuccino says, don't we all? Trump Bunny says, smart man, enjoy. Well, again, health for me was the easiest deciding factor. Obviously, financially played a huge role into it too. But I'm just leaving my own hapon. I'm just living on my pension and my savings. That's what I'm doing until Social Security would kick in. And once I'd realized I could do it, I've become less materialistic here. So many other things make you happy that money can't buy. And I'm glad I did it. I walk a lot daily. Anybody who doesn't know me or does know me, I do like 10 miles a day. Probably about 4 to 5 miles or so during my live streams when I do that. And then the rest I do out and about. But yeah, it's very easy for me to get to 10 miles. I mean, from my apartment to the center here is like 1.5 miles. So there and back's 3. I do like 4 to 5 in a live stream. Let's just say it's 4. There's 7. That leaves me with 3 more. So it's very easy to get to 10 miles a day, and I feel good. Been doing it for a long time, so it's not like I just started doing 10 miles yesterday. I built myself up to it. But my health is key. And like I always say, tomorrow's not promised. You don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring for your health, especially when you get older. And then when you get injured, it also takes you longer to heal. Whereas, you know, you could tweak things when you're younger and you heal a lot faster. Now, if you get injured, it takes you longer to heal. Then you get a baby or like take it easy on that certain injury, and then it puts you behind. So the last thing I want to do is get hurt as a 55-year-old man. I don't want to get hurt because it takes longer to heal. And then I'm missing out on things. And then, again, it takes time. Time is important. So that's why I'm here. Caramel Cappuccino says you're living at your own pace, sir. Yeah, it's exactly right. LA6508 says a lot of Americans go there for romantic interest. What's your opinions on dating? I'm just one man's opinion. My best advice would be to anybody, yes, you can meet amazing people here. Filipinos, you can meet amazing people here. But don't, for me, I think if you prioritize, for me, choose the Philippines because you want to choose the Philippines, because you want to embrace the culture and learn things and see things. Let the kind of relationship, I guess, kind of happen on its own. Don't let that be your focus, maybe. Again, I don't know everything, but I've seen some people where and not that you can't meet a Filipino online before you get here. There are success stories, but I've also seen people where they meet a Filipino online before they come here, and maybe the relationship doesn't work out, and then they have a bad taste in their mouth about the Philippines. Basically that bad taste is because a relationship didn't go right. And I don't think you should judge the Philippines as a whole just because on a failed relationship. And that, in my opinion, I just think if you focus more on the country, the tropical things, the places to visit, the islands to see, and the people to meet, I just think that's better. That's the advice I give myself, for me. Because like I said, I don't want to judge or have a bad opinion of something based on a relationship that did or didn't go right. Sunny Boy, hello Sunny Boy, says health is the most important. That's how I feel. Trump Bunny says simpler is better. No kids, backward wordsman, no kids. Like the weather, 80s to 90s, yeah. And right now, this feels cool to me. Definitely feels like the humidity's a little lower. I don't mind sweating though. I'd rather sweat my butt off than freeze my butt off. Caramel cappuccino, do not focus just on a lazy. Yeah, that's exactly it. And I get it. Why, there are some people that have bad experiences here. But you can have a bad experience no matter where you're at. I had bad experiences with relationships in the US. Does that mean I hate my country because I had a failed relationship or just had a bad attitude? No. Move on to the next, especially here in the Philippines. There's so many wonderful, amazing people that you can meet. If the first one or the second one or the third one doesn't work out, no, then you're on to the fourth one. Terry Austin says hi from Chicago. Trying to see what else maybe I missed because I'm getting to the end of my live stream. I'm at like at 112 minutes. I greatly thank all you guys and girls, men, women, everybody, Filipinos for being here. Backwardsman says, does it ever feel dangerous living there? No, I don't feel the danger. Are there some people that might have experiences where it might have been dangerous? I'm sure. See a lot of videos about people getting robbed or whatever. You know what? A Filipino made an interesting comment to me the other day. He said to me, or he's heard stories of maybe foreigners maybe got robbed. But a lot of those people that got robbed, I'm not saying all of them, but he said he's seen situations where the people that got robbed maybe were older men, out of shape, weren't physically maybe really able to defend themselves. That's kind of what he said. And then he kind of said to me, he goes, they probably don't mess around with you because you can defend yourself and you're in good shape. So I'm sure he has a point. He said, actually it was just within the last week. I was talking to a Filipino security guard and we were talking about that. So yeah, grinding coconuts, another thing. Yeah, don't flash, that's another thing. And like I always tell people, I'm being honest, I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. Who knows where I'd be if I was rich? I don't know where I'd be. But it doesn't matter. To me, I love the people here and that's what matters. Sebastian says, how tall are you? Well, the tallest I've ever been in my life was 5'11" and a half, give or take, maybe a little more. Never exactly 6 foot tall. So 5'11" and a half, smidge below 6 foot. They say as you get older, you shrink. I haven't measured myself lately. Maybe I shrunk. I don't know. But yeah, 5'11" and a half. Alex says, why are you in the Philippines? Just wanted to try something different. And when I came here in July 2024, was only supposed to be here for 2 months. Liked it so much, stayed longer. Got lucky, 55 years old, was able to get a pension at 55 in my savings. And it was more than enough for me to live here comfortably until I get my Social Security. And I'm here and living life while I'm healthy. I'm off the grind, and if I was still in the US, I'd still be working. I'd have to. I look much taller. Well, you know, things can be deceiving in a camera. But yeah, 5'11" and a half. I don't think I've grown. Caramel Cappuccino says, I'll retire and do Maggette. That's good. Like I said, I know plenty of people that don't like Dumageddon. They call it Dramageddon. I don't have drama here. If I feel any drama creeping in on me, I push it away. And it's just not here in Dumageddon. Me personally, I want nothing to do with drama. Drama is something of the past back in the States. I don't want that here. I'm not concerned with what other people are doing. I don't care what other people do. I care about my happiness, but some people can't let that stuff go. That's just who they are, and they're so worried about what other people are doing. I live my life, I'm happy, and if I've seen people get upset, like negative towards me because I'm happy, which is crazy. What a world we live in. But hello from Monterey, California, Squids Boy. I think I saw you, Squids Boy, earlier. I'm glad you're here from California. Grinding Coconut says, convert your US license to a Philippines license. Good for 5 years. It's simple. At some point, Grinding Coconuts, my hand will be forced, and I'll have to like expand a little bit here in the Philippines and get a license. Matty the surfer says hello from Florida. I love Florida. Lived there for almost 2 years, maybe like a month or two shy of 2 years. Lived in Stewart and Palm City, Florida. Love the East Coast. Philip Montgomery, hello, Philip. How are you doing, my friend? I was just thinking about you. I was wondering, I don't even know, like the last live stream I did on Saturday, I haven't done one Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like 4 days, the longest I've ever gone without doing a live, but I kind of just, I don't know, didn't feel like doing it. You got to be up to doing a live stream. I mean, not that I don't have the energy, but I want to be able to bring it every time when I do a live stream. Which city says famous alien? Dumaguete, Philippines. Famous alien. Hello, I see you. Looks like Asian country. Yes, Asian country, for sure. I'm here and enjoying the Asian country. I love it here in Dumaguete. Terry says, take off your hat. There you go. Took off my hat. But I like, because sometimes the sun, keep it out of my eyes. But there you go. Terry, Austin. Rick Woolman says, so when you turn 65, you will pay $2.75 every month for a mandatory Medicaid. Hopefully I don't have to get any insurance, my friend. I don't have any Medicaid, not interested in it. That's why my health, exercise, and diet is vital to me. I'm gonna do everything to avoid putting myself in a situation like that. That's not to say that having a good diet and daily exercise, that doesn't mean something can't pop up. It can. But I would like to say the percentages go way down doing what I'm doing. I'm cute for a white guy. Appreciate the compliment. Yes, Lynn Angel, I do like doing push-ups. I prefer resistant, body weight resistant exercises. Squatting, using dumbbells, push-ups, doing the daily walks. That's basically what it is. Free weight dumbbells, push-ups, daily walks, 10 miles a day, eat a healthy diet. Sometimes I treat myself. I get pizza here and there. I don't eat it every day. Don't drink alcohol, don't smoke, don't really ever drink soda unless we celebrate and I have to have something other than water. I'll get a Diet Coke and cheers to somebody. CKN News says, I know who I'm having a beer with when I visit. Who would that be? You can have a beer if you visit with me. I'll probably be drinking coffee or coconut water, but I hope to meet a lot of you guys when you come visit. I can still give you a toast without a beer. You need to try the girls there. I have a girlfriend, Gene Unit. Famous aliens. So Gary, what's happening today? My name's Michael. My name's not Gary. I don't know. If anybody, oh good bro. Yeah, I'm just teasing. I know you probably know I don't drink beer. Hey, Mayung Hapon. God bless you and your wife. Yeah, I don't have a wife. We're boyfriend and girlfriend. I'm not married yet. Don't think about that right now. We'll see what happens. Yeah, see, Che's my girlfriend. She's laughing. Big Lawn says hello. But anyway, anybody, anytime somebody comes to Dumaguete and you're going to visit, feel free to give me a shout out. My Facebook and my Instagram links are in my description bio on my YouTube channel. But if you haven't given me a thumbs up, please give me a thumbs up. Greatly appreciate it. If you're interested in subscribing to my channel, I also greatly appreciate it. But you don't have to do it if you don't want to. Where are you, man? I'm in Philippines. Dumaguete. Setting a good example for others, says Sharon Casal. Big Lawn says, no need to rush in it. That's the way I feel. You don't. When you wake up and you feel like making a different change in your life, and if it's marriage or something else, you'll know it when you wake up. Right now, I'm not thinking that. I'm just enjoying life, happy with each day that I'm blessed to have. Tomorrow will get here when tomorrow gets here. Do you have with Che a type of written agreement? We're only boyfriend and girlfriend, so there's no written agreement. I guess it's just verbal. She knows how I feel. Yes, I'm in Dumaguete. Dumaguete. You're in Cebu. I'm in Dumaguete. But thank you for being here. I am Maclean. Caramel Cappuccino says he's in Dumaguete. Yes, just the opposite island. Jay as your Doreen Doron says 8593 says hello. Hello. Christopher says hello. Hey, Christopher, you just saying hi now? I apologize if I missed you. I'm kind of just standing still, catching up with any comments before I end my live stream. But I hope everybody's having a good day. And as always, thank you so much for sharing your valuable time in life with me. Again, it's humbling when you guys show up to my live streams. So many of you just sacrifice your time out of your life. So I am Maclean says someday we will meet. Hey, anytime, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, my contact links are in my YouTube bio at the top. So never hesitate, don't be a stranger, reach out to me. CK says, peace out. Jesse says, where are you? Dumaguete, Philippines. G. Nunez says, have a nice day and a good meal today. Philip says, thank you, sir, pleasure. Now, the pleasure is mine. You guys, I need to thank you guys, really. Thank you. Everything that you guys do for me is a blessing, and I'm fortunate and I'm thankful. Possum says good night. With that being said, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. Thank you always for sharing your time with me. It's a blessing and I'm thankful. Can't thank you guys enough. I look forward to coming back on Friday as long as the weather's good. So today's Wednesday here. Tomorrow I won't be, unless something would change and I'd see sunshine for tomorrow and rain for Friday, then I'd change it. But I'll be back within a day or two. So be looking for me, and if you're not busy, come hang out with me again. Walter White says, hi, how are you? Thank you for being here. Caramel Cappuccino says, I'll look for you at the boulevard on my next vacation, sir. Good day, Caramel Cappuccino. I'll be back again. G Unit, have a nice day. Take care. God bless. See you guys again. Thank you a lot. Thank you very, very, very much. Bye, Deli Amato. Roberto, see you. Have a great day, Roberto. Walter, see you guys. Thank you.